You ever felt totally stuck? You're scrolling online for advice, and some billionaire tells you to just disrupt an industry. Meanwhile, you're just trying to land a decent job. It feels like they're living on a different planet, right? Well, today, we're going to talk about that, but with a story that actually makes sense for the rest of us.
So, why does that advice, which is supposed to be so inspiring, just feel so useless? Honestly, it's because it's advice from a world we don't live in. It completely ignores the fact that most of us are starting out with very little, not with $1 million seed fund.
I mean, just look at this. It's a tale of two completely different realities. On one side, you've got these grand commands. Build a startup, raise venture capital, change the world. And on the other side, well, that's the day-to-day grind. Struggling to find a basic job, having absolutely no money to start anything, and really just trying to make it to the end of the month. How are you supposed to think about disrupting an industry when you're just trying to pay the rent?
Okay, so let's just toss all that unrelatable advice out the window for a minute and focus on something real. The solution, the inspiration we're looking for, comes from a totally unexpected place. Not a fancy boardroom, but a simple roadside. We're about to dive into the story of an ordinary man, an An San, whose journey is so much more relatable and honestly way more inspiring.
So our story starts with someone who was in that exact position. He was in Gurgaon, bouncing from one failed job interview to another, feeling completely lost and invisible. No job, no plan, just trying to find a foothold. I'm sure that's a feeling a lot of us can understand.
So after another rejection, he's waiting for the bus, and of course, the sky just opens up and it starts pouring rain. He runs for cover under the awning of this little roadside warehouse, and then a man, maybe in his 50s, waves him inside. And that one small gesture, well, it kicked off a conversation that would literally change his life.
As they were talking, this older man, who looked like a successful, put-together businessman, just points to a gutter on the side of the road. And then he says something absolutely unforgettable. 20 years ago, I used to sleep right there, in that drain. And just like that, in one sentence, everything the narrator thought he knew about this man was completely turned upside down.
And then the story just came pouring out. It was a story of hitting absolute rock bottom. He'd failed to get a government job, and that failure sent him into a downward spiral of addiction that lasted for a whole decade. He got so lost, so hopeless, that he ran away from home, planning to end it all. For almost 2 years, the streets were his home.
But then, right there, at his lowest possible point, something inside him just snapped. He asked himself, what kind of life is this? And in that moment, he made a promise to himself. He was going to work. It didn't matter what the job was, how small or derby it was, he was just going to work hard and earn back his dignity.
And that big comeback journey? It didn't start with a loan or a business plan. It started with a bucket and a sponge. He found work at a housing society, waking up at 5 o'clock every single morning to wash 50 to 60 cars by hand. It was tough, grueling work. But you know what? It was a start. It was an income.
But here it is. This is the moment where everything changed. See, after he was done washing cars, his workday was over. He had hours and hours of empty time. And then it hit him like a lightning bolt. This wasn't just free time. This was a wasted asset. This block of unused time was pure, untapped potential that he was letting slip through his fingers every single day. That was the key.
And that one realization that your free time is a valuable asset, that was the spark that lit the whole fire. This is the story of how he turned those empty hours into a real fortune and how he scaled one tiny, simple idea into an actual empire.
So let's look at the numbers. From washing all those cars, he was pulling in about 300 rupees a day. Now that's enough to survive, right? It keeps you going. But it's not a future. It's not a life. It's just the baseline. So he comes up with this idea that is so simple, it's brilliant. He decided to take the money he made washing cars in the morning and use it to buy eggs. Then he'd boil them, and in all that unused time in the afternoon and evening, he'd sell them from a little cart. He was literally turning his free time into cash.
And the result? It was immediate, and it was huge. By adding this one little side hustle, his daily income jumped from 300 rupees to over 2,000. I mean, that's almost 7 times more money. This wasn't just a little extra cash. This was life-changing proof that his idea about unused time was a gold mine.
And of course, he didn't stop there. This is where you see the real strategy. So, step 1, wash cars, secure that baseline income. Step 2, sell eggs, turn that free time into profit. But step 3, this is the secret sauce. He reinvested everything he made. He scaled up and became an egg wholesaler. And then for step 4, he took the whole operation to the next level, went back to his village, and started his own poultry farm.
So what's the end of this incredible story? From sleeping in a drain, to washing cars, to selling eggs on the street, where did he end up? Well, today that same man employs over 150 people. He's not just supporting himself, he's supporting more than 150 families. He didn't just rebuild his own life, he created a lifeline for a whole community.
Okay, so what an amazing story, right? But what does it actually mean for you? What's the real takeaway here? How can you take this same powerful free time idea and apply it to your own life, no matter where you're starting from today?
Well, it really boils down to this super simple 4-step strategy. Number 1, secure some kind of income, no matter how small. That's your foundation. 2, find your block of unused time. We all have it, even if it's just an hour a day. 3, start the smallest, simplest thing you can think of with what you earn. Don't overthink it. And 4, the most important part, reinvest. That's the engine for growth. Pour those profits right back into what you're doing.
You know, this whole story is just powerful proof of something the mentor said. Your current situation, no matter how tough it feels right now, is not the end of the road. It's not your final destination. If you keep your eyes open, if you keep working, one day, life is going to hand you an opportunity. You just have to be ready for it.
So I'll just leave you with this final question to think about. Take a hard look at your day, at those hours that maybe feel empty or wasted. What is your boiled egg idea? What's that small, simple thing hiding in your free time that might, just might, be the thing that changes everything?